Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
Steph.
Hello, hello. No worries about this Instagram, technology and stuff. It's normal things.
I'm so sorry. I've had to come on my sister's Instagram because mine it wouldn't let me request to join, so I don't know what had happened.
Ah, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Some people seem to have this issue, but it's a very rare one. I don't really know why it's like that. But I can't invite anyone, so people have to invite themselves when
I
it comes
see.
to live streams. So yeah, there's certain problems around
Oh,
that, but it's okay. We're here now, and as I was just introducing us to the audience, so
fab.
probably we'll do it once again. So my name is Stephanie, and I am founder and creator of BehindCanvas online interior sketching academy, and I teach how to sketch interiors from zero. And Georgie has been to a number of my courses as well, and
I'm a very big fan.
thank you so much. And yeah, Georgie is an aspiring interior designer, so she's currently studying at BEIT. And today we're going to speak about the topic of passion. So each of us has prepared a few questions. I don't know, Georgie, if you want to start with yours, or shall I start? Again, this is a very sort of uh, easy to go. You
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't mind. Shall I ask my question first?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So my first question to you, Steph, was would you say oh sorry, I'm just getting my questions up.
That's
Um
okay.
how how old were you when you realised that you had a passion for art?
Um, I was 14. And that was actually the time when I moved to the UK and I started doing my GCSEs.
Okay.
And I realized, I mean, I always liked art and I liked a lot of
Yeah.
different things as well. But
Mm.
when I moved to the UK, I realized that art and fashion actually was two things together. It's something that I really, really enjoyed doing. So obviously, I went and took up my A levels, doing only
Yeah.
creative subjects. So yeah, I was 14.
Subject.
Back then when I realized.
Yeah.
I think maybe I can go next with mine,
Okay. Yeah, sure.
and or we can do two. It's maybe next one you will ask, two questions, and then I go
Okay.
two questions and so on. So would you say interior design has been your passion since you was a child, or is it a fairly recent passion of yours?
Um, it's actually been a fairly recent passion of mine. It's not something I thought growing up I would ever really get into. It was fairly recently because I got to a point in my life where I realized I didn't really have like any hobbies at all. I just went to work, came home, occasionally went to the gym, and that was it. I thought I'm not really doing anything else with my life at the moment. So I thought, what could I do that would interest me? And I realized I spend so much time looking at home magazines, home accounts on Instagram, and I thought I'll just see what's out there, sort of course wise. And then I found online the British Academy of Interior Design, and they had a few courses on offer. I thought I might give this a go. So, and that was I actually started doing the course in 2018. I did one assignment, and then I just got very busy, and so I kind of put it on hold for
Yeah,
2 hours, for 2 years, and then I've sort of come back to it again now. So yeah.
yeah. Oh, I see. So you started, did you say 2 years ago? And like
Yeah,
with the
it was the end of 2018. I think it was around
ah,
October time. So I spent a couple of months doing the first assignment, and then Christmas came around, and then I
mm,
found I just got busy with work and social life, stuff like that. And then I kind of
mm,
think lockdown happened, and that's when I realised I had more time to focus on it, and that's kind of helped me get back into it, I'd say.
yeah. No, absolutely. I think most of us has realized that a year ago as well, with the when the lockdown kicked in, and yeah, all the things that we can do now, sat at
Yeah,
home, thinking about life.
yeah.
I mean,
You need
positive.
something to occupy your mind.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it's yeah, I mean, a lot of people change sort of their ways of doing things, change their careers, change their interests. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
sort of like an inevitable impact of this whole
yeah,
situation. So
definitely.
yeah. Should I go with my next
Do you want
question,
to go to the next
or
question?
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. So, do you have any other passions, or maybe you had any other passions before you realized that it's interior design?
Well, I'd say aside from interior design, I really like cooking. That's something I've kind of done ever since being an adult, really. I've just cooked for myself. I love trying new recipes. I'm not very adventurous when it comes to like going to restaurants and trying different foods, but I do like cooking different foods for
Uh,
different people.
yeah.
So I do enjoy doing that. It's bizarre because I really enjoy cooking, but I'm really bad at baking. I know they're
Oh, me
both
too.
very similar.
Me too.
Yeah,
No, just,
they're both so
yeah.
similar, but if someone said to me, go make lasagna, fine, I could do that easily. Go make a fish pie, easy, I could do that. But when it comes to baking a cake, I am terrible. It'll be baked perfect on the outside, it'll be soggy on the inside. So
Yeah.
baking is
No,
not one of my favorite things.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'm exactly this. I don't really like baking as much as well. Like I'm terrible at it and I don't like it as well. So it's
I
kind
like
of, but I
eating.
like eating. Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
me
Absolutely.
too.
Yes,
That's the
like I
best
would
part.
go to like the bakery, yeah, absolutely every week.
Yes.
But
Yes.
baking myself, no.
Yeah. I'm shocked.
So
I leave that to my sister. She's a really good baker. She's always making flapjacks and muffins and cakes, and it's so good. But yeah, when it comes to me baking, it usually just goes in the bin, so it's not the greatest.
I feel gross.
But yeah. But other than cooking, I'd say I've recently, once again during lockdown, I have got into doing running. I used to be terrible at running, but I have got into that recently. I'm not the quickest runner. I can't go very far, but I do enjoy doing that. And then other than that, I'm just thinking when I was growing up, similar to yourself, I always had an interest in fashion design, and everything. But as I grew up, I realized I'm really not a fashionable person at all. So I kind of sort of lost that hobby. I'm probably the most unfashionable person on the planet.
Oh, but you liked it? Like you was following sort of like the trends and all that, or
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could really call it a hobby, but I've always loved going shopping, if that
oh yeah,
counts.
yeah, yeah, I love it as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, going shopping and reading fashion magazines. And I remember when I was really young, when my grandma used to babysit me and my sister when we were younger, she'd always put fashion TV on Sky. I don't know if anyone remembers fashion TV, but we used to watch that. I'd
Yeah,
be
I
about,
remember actually that. I remember
yeah,
it's like runways, right? You have like models walking down the runway, or
yeah,
it was like a lot of fashion shows that they were streaming on it. But yeah, that's what I
yeah.
remember.
I remember I
So
was about 7 years old. I thought no 7 year old would really enjoy watching that, but I weirdly did. So I think once again that was kind of like a creative thing. Like I used to love drawing pictures
mm,
of nice outfits and different fashion designs. I think once again because it was something else creative. I did really enjoy it. But I've definitely grown out of that now.
no, I mean I loved it as well. I loved fashion illustration. I loved, well,
Yeah,
I did textiles for my A levels, and I really enjoyed it. And I actually really wanted to go
yeah,
into fashion design, but I changed my
yeah,
mind because I thought it's very competitive and I will not be able to do anything there,
yeah,
which sort of true. But again, I think what I'm doing now is very difficult as well. So it's not
yeah,
an easy sort of route to take up.
yeah,
So I think, yeah, it's probably that time, when you're kind of like 18, deciding what you're gonna do in life. It's a bit like overwhelming, and you don't know what to choose. And it's like,
yeah.
yeah, it's obviously you only have one choice for a degree, so you
Yeah.
obviously have to be very, yeah,
I think it could
precision.
be, yeah. I think as well, if you were to work in fashion, I think it'd be a very cutthroat industry. I don't think it'd be a very nice environment really to
Yeah,
work
that's what
somewhere
I thought.
like that. I think it could be
Yeah,
quite bitchy, which
yeah,
I've worked in an environment like that before, not in fashion, but in another job I've previously had, and the environment was just horrible. It's just very competitive, women competing with each other, and it just wasn't for me, that kind
yeah,
of environment at all. I'm just not
yeah.
that kind of person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another thing. I mean, obviously there's good people everywhere, but it's just like percentage wise, it's like 95 people,
Yeah.
like this, five people that are nice and kind and sensitive, and
Yeah.
yeah, but that makes sense. But that's really interesting actually, that you also liked fashion and you sort of was thinking of getting into that as well.
Yeah.
I think I've asked mine 2 questions. Maybe you can go ahead next, and we'll
Sure.
reverse back.
Sure. Right. So my next question for you is, did you ever face any embarrassment or any self-esteem issues when it came to sort of going into the career that you're in now?
Oh, I absolutely love this question actually when you messaged me your questions. I think it's a really, really interesting one. Is this like sort of a general question if I ever felt sort of like embarrassed or had any self-esteem
Yeah,
issues like before I started business or like whilst or now? You
I
mean
think
like in
both.
both?
Yeah, I mean, in general, like as a person, have you ever faced sort of self-esteem issues, and then has that
Yeah.
been carried forward when you have launched your career?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the first time I sort of felt, I mean, like, yeah, like not really confident with myself is when I was like a teenager, like about 13, 12 or something. Yeah, I think it was about 13. I gained weight, so I was bigger, and I didn't feel very great about it, but it was just a phase of life,
Yeah,
had to go. And that was also at the time when I moved to the UK. I started a new school, and obviously I was 14, and it's a quite different age to, start
that's a
school with no
tough age.
friends. And for
Yeah.
me, it was a very difficult period, and I felt really like bad about myself and just in general
Oh,
great experience.
yeah.
But obviously, looking back at it, it's now I think no, it was what I needed. It kind of made me a
It does you
stronger
good.
person. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think I think probably maybe not every single person, but I would say majority of people face these kind of issues and like bullying and kind of like embarrassments and self-esteem issues. I think it's something that is kind of normal in a way, but it shouldn't really
Yeah.
be.
No.
Um, yeah, I think this is sort of the time that I remember when I felt really, yeah, my self-esteem was just like really, really low. But
Oh,
then when I turned 16, I lost weight. I was feeling much better about myself. And I chose art. So I chose the creative way to follow. And I sort of realized what I like and what I want to do.
mm,
So it was kind of a nice, interesting phase for myself. And
yeah.
yeah, so I really delved into that, like textiles, art, photography. I just really enjoyed doing all of these things. But then again, you had to choose a degree, and you're like sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with my life? So I think the
Yeah.
self-esteem you hit again, you're kind of thinking, oh, to be able to earn money, doing something
Yeah.
practical. And of course, I didn't choose anything practical. I went into doing an art history degree, which is a completely if when I think about it, like I didn't enjoy my degree, I didn't enjoy my school, like it's like so much aggression inside me. Um, but yeah, so and then when I graduated, I started looking for a job, and I didn't
Mm,
know what I wanted to do then as well because I realized what was the average salary of an art historian working in a museum, and I just burst into tears because it's like
yeah.
22 grand per year. Living in London, I mean, what kind of money is that? It's nothing.
That must be tough.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I went into sales, sort of like retail sales environment, recruitment. So this is something that I
Mm,
sort of was doing back then. And whilst I was working, I thought, well, what am I going to do? Is this what I'm going to do all my life?
yeah.
And so I started BehindCanvas. So there wasn't any specific sort of I didn't have any connections. I didn't have any money to start up a business, nothing like that whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I think, as I was saying before, when we had our stream with Davina as well about comfort zone, I spoke a lot about that and the fact that I'm constantly trying to get out of the comfort zone. So I always put myself into uncomfortable situations. So
Yeah.
obviously, when I'm in uncomfortable situations, I don't feel very confident, right? Because obviously you're putting yourself out there. So most of the times, yeah, I don't feel very confident, but I have to be confident, and obviously after I pass
Yeah.
this specific period, I feel much better because, oh, okay, I tried something new, I feel much
Yeah.
better.
I think
So
it's the best way to sort of gain confidence as well. Like, I think the more you put yourself out there in these uncomfortable situations, the more confident you then feel moving forward. I mean, I remember when at the start of lockdown, when where I work, we all had to do Zooms at work. And these are people who I sit and talk to at work every day and have done for the past 5 years. But for some reason, to talk to them on a camera, I suddenly felt really like embarrassed and nervous. I don't know
Oh
why,
yeah.
because these are people, once again, that I speak to every day who I know really well. But I just felt really nervous and really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But then because we were doing it every day, you know, a few weeks down the line, I was answering the calls with no makeup on, my hair scraped back, spots on show. I thought, you know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't care anymore. I'm confident now. It's fine.
yeah, yeah. I think why you felt embarrassed, and I think a lot of people, I did as well. I think it's because it's kind of like your sort of domestic kind of atmosphere, right? Because you're at home. When you're at work, you're at work. Your body is physically
Yeah,
there. Your mind is physically there. And here,
yeah,
your work sort of interrupts your domestic life when you're
yeah,
here, not with your makeup on, you know, in your pajamas, whatever,
yeah.
looking your best, and you to a Zoom meeting. So it's kind of like this, you know, sort of interference into your private life. I think that's
Yeah,
why you
definitely.
felt like that. I'm the same as well. Because obviously I still work as well. I still work part-time.
Yeah,
So I have the same thing, and obviously I don't speak about BehindCanvas as well with my colleagues, you know, even though they know
yeah,
what I'm doing. I don't speak
yeah,
about that because again, it's something that I don't feel comfortable talking with them about, and obviously they don't
yeah,
ask as well. It's kind of like a separate life, you know. So I have to pretend, not pretend, but I'm sort of like the other Stephanie, you know, when I'm doing
yeah,
my them, and
yeah,
Stephanie behind a different person as well. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like two worlds.
yeah.
So
I'm kind of similar as well with my work because I mean everyone who I work with, everyone knows that I'm doing my course with Baid, but I feel that when I'm at work, because I work in a student letting agency, I'm very much like a letting agent. You know, I talk kind of the sales talk and do all the marketing side of stuff. But when I'm doing my interior design, I feel like this is going to sound so cliche and so cringe, but I feel like I'm more myself because naturally I'm
yeah,
quite a creative person, and the environment that I work in is not very creative. So when I get to
mm,
come home and I do my course, I feel that I'm doing something creative and I feel more me, like I'm doing something that's a lot more fulfilling. And but
yeah,
like you say, it's kind of like there's two versions of yourself. There's like the professional work version, and then there's the side that's your passionate side, I suppose, the side that you're more passionate about, which obviously for you is BehindCanvas, and for me it's my designs as well. So it's yeah,
yes,
both of
no,
them.
absolutely. I think that's really true what you're saying.
Yeah,
Absolutely, cannot agree more.
yeah. Right, shall I go to my next question for you?
Yeah, yeah, let's go.
Right, so my next question was um, about juggling life with passion. So the stress of wait, is that the question?
You
Oh,
can
here we go.
you can reorder
How
that.
do you? I can't read my own words. But how do you
That
deal with?
that's okay. Again,
How do you
it's
juggle?
Saturday.
Yeah.
We're all yeah.
I've not even opened the wine yet, Stephanie. Either I should be able to speak
Well, I
properly right
haven't
now.
as well, but it's waiting for me in the fridge.
Yeah, me too. So I thought juggling life with passion, and how do you deal with the stress of day to day life? So how do you deal with sort of managing your day to day life, but then having time for your sort of passionate side as well? How do you deal
Mm.
with that?
Yeah, that's something that I've been sort of thinking about quite a lot recently because my life has turned into constant work, you know, and of course
Yeah,
behind canvas is my passion, but it's something that, you know, I want to make a profit out of. So it is becoming like
yeah,
another job, and I have to do things that I
yeah,
might not necessarily like to. And it's been quite stressful, to be honest, in the past sort of month or so, maybe a few weeks especially, because as much as I'm passionate about things, you know, sometimes you wake up and you think, oh my goodness, you know, do I really need this? Like, because it's just so much, and you're just thinking
yeah,
about it, and you know, kind of overthinking. But because a lot of people think passion is something that, oh, it's just like just 100% joyful.
yeah,
It is, But when you start turning it, for instance, into, in my case, a job, which I think a lot of people want to turn it into a profitable sort of career or business, right? Because, you know, you would prefer to do
Yeah.
what you love and get money. Um, you
Yeah.
face certain difficulties. Yeah, in my case, for instance,
Yeah.
I'm great with coming up with ideas. I'm great with, you know, like, yeah, like coming up with ideas for my courses. I'm great with speaking with people. You know, I really like that sort of having this communication with clients and so on. But I'm really bad at marketing. I'm really bad at sales. I'm really bad at pushing. I'm really bad at analytics. I'm really bad at so many things. And you know, when you start thinking about it, it's like, oh my goodness, I wish they taught me this in school or at university, you know, because it would have
Yeah.
made such much more sense. Because when you're getting into,
Yeah.
you know, starting a business or whatever, being self-employed, you're faced with all these challenges, and it's at some point it's not enough to be, you know, alone doing it. Like, obviously now my husband is
Yeah.
working with me as well, and he's with technology a lot, which I am very grateful for, because I'm just really bad at, you know, filming and stuff. So all the quality that I have improved on is thanks to him. You know, we
Yeah.
purchased a lot of equipment, invested money. Now I recruited, old talk, hired a marketing specialist to help me promote this. And there are days, and there are a lot of days like this, when I write to her and I say, oh my goodness, I can't do this anymore. This is too stressful. You know, maybe I'm not
Yeah.
good enough. Maybe the product is not good enough, you know. And she responded to me yesterday, you know, saying that, you have a great product. Everything is great. We just need to work on sort of conversion, you know, getting more clients in and so on. So I have to invest, quite a lot of money into paid promotions now. So again, something that I wasn't
Yeah.
aware of before. You know, in order to sort of scale up your business, you have to invest into promoting, you know, paying for Instagram ads and Facebook ads. So I think the
Mm.
reason why I'm speaking about this, well, first of all, I'm sharing the tips, I guess, for some people who might find it useful, but it's also about juggling sort of life and passion, you know, having a job in recruitment, then trying to develop BehindCanvas, trying to release a course and trying to sell it. It's, for me, it's been really difficult to sort of, have this time to just sit there and think, okay, what can I do, something else? Maybe I should do, I don't know, a
Yeah.
dancing course or something, you know, or different to, you
Yeah.
know, sketching or recruitment. It's what I do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it gets quite challenging. And I think for a lot of people with the lockdown as well, with the homeschooling, with children, with work, it's been a lot of things, and you can't distinguish between, you know, you can't differentiate them anymore. It's like everything
No.
is sort of interlaced, and there's too much
Yeah.
happening. So I wouldn't say I am good at juggling life and passion at this stage. I'll be honest, I'm not good at
Yeah.
it. I just work all the time, and I don't see the boundaries. I think the only rule that I have introduced is I stopped going on Instagram after 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. So it's
That's
something
such
that,
a good idea.
because for me it gets very overwhelming,
Yeah.
and I just get tired. And even though when I want to take a day off social media, I can't do it. I still go on social media. I still open my Instagram.
Yeah.
I just can't not go on it at all. But what I can do
Yeah.
is try to do it at least in the evening, and all the way until the morning. So I have my daily routine. Like, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I do my yoga workout, blah, 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 have my coffee, and then I open Instagram. So it's basically, I've got like 12
Yeah.
hours sort of no social kind of media interaction. So
That's
it sort
really
of
good.
helped me a bit. Yeah, it
Yeah.
helped me a bit to sort of balance life a bit. But oh my goodness, I have a long way to go to 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 balance this. So if anyone has any tips for me, please,
Yeah.
or if you can recommend me anything, please let me know. Because even when I drink, you know, like you're sitting there with a glass of wine and you think, oh yeah, I'm just relaxing, it's a Friday night. I don't have these Friday nights anymore, you know. It's like constant
Yeah.
thinking, oh my God, tomorrow I have to release a course, tomorrow I have to send this email, tomorrow I have to,
Yeah.
you know. So it's a lot of
It's
things.
constant.
Just can't switch off. It's awful.
Yeah.
As much
I
as
think
it's a
I yeah. See, I'm one of those people where I work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. But I always think, right, okay, on a Saturday, I'm going to spend the whole day doing my course. on a Sunday, I spend time with Adam because we don't live together at the moment. So that's the one day a week I get to see him. So before I know it, you don't actually have any other time to do anything else, because I'm one of those people, I have plans all the time, even like down to the hour. Like, you know, today I've been thinking, right, I'm going to go for a run in the morning, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. At 7 o'clock, I've got IGTV with Steph. After this, I'm going to watch The Voice. Like, I always have to have a
Yeah,
plan. So
me
every
too.
single day, there's kind
Yes.
of no time for downtime. And I kind of do it to myself in a way, because I could give myself downtime, but even when I was younger, I always liked to have a routine and have a plan, and know what I'm doing and know what time I'm doing
Yeah.
something. I think it's a bit of a, I might have control issues, I don't know, but I like to know when I'm doing something, how
Yeah.
long it's going to take. Yeah, it's a funny one. I think it is down to being a bit of a control freak, really, which I definitely am.
I think, I mean, a lot of people are saying, with the lockdown and everything, that, oh, you've got so much free time on your hands. I don't feel like I have free time on my hands, and I don't
Yeah,
have children. I don't have to homeschool children. Yeah, but
yeah,
then I still have time because obviously I'm juggling, two jobs basically. And even if you have just one job, it's still the same, right? If you're working
yeah,
full time, like in your case, Monday to Friday, it's like almost the whole week. So you get your normal weekends off, but you're still
yeah.
doing your job. So it's
Yeah, there's no changes
yeah.
really. I mean, I had like the luxury of being able to stay in bed a bit longer in the morning, which was quite nice. But then I'd be starting work at 9, and obviously I'd be finishing at 5. But because I was sat at home, it'd be 5 o'clock, and I'll think, right, well, I should technically finish now, but I'll just finish doing that email, or I'll just finish doing this, or I'll just ring that person. And before I know it, it's actually 6 o'clock, and I've worked an hour longer just because I didn't have to drive home. I didn't have to pack up all my stuff. I was
Exactly.
just there. So my days were actually a bit longer and a bit busier in the end. I thought, this is ridiculous. I'm working from home, but I'm working more. And then I'd
Yeah,
spend
I
the
know,
evening
it's
doing my
awful.
course. And then,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I find I cram so much into a day that the one thing I suffer
Oh
is
yeah.
I, I'll make sure I have enough time to do absolutely everything, but it'll be the sleep that I'll miss out on. Like, if it
Oh
means
yeah.
I've got to stay awake until midnight doing work, I'll do that, and I'll suffer from the lack of sleep. Sleep's always the thing that takes the hit from me, which I shouldn't. But there's some nights I go to bed and I must have 5 or 6 hours at the
Oh
most, because
yeah.
I need to be up early for work, or to go for a run, or to make my lunch for the day, or then in an evening I'll be doing my work, and it's like I really need to prioritize time for sleep. But that's the one thing for me that does suffer more than anything, is my
Yeah.
ability to just switch off and go to bed.
Yeah, no, I agree with you as well. I mean, I get my sort of 7 to 8 hours, but I do blame myself if I wake up too late. For instance, I try to wake up at 7, but it barely
Yeah,
happens. So I wake up 7:30 to 8. And then
yeah.
if I oversleep, even if I wake up at 8:15 or 8:30, I'll be like, oh my goodness, no, no, this is not good. Tomorrow I
I'm
have
just
to wake up
the
at
same.
7.
Yeah,
And
and I feel
I'm
really annoyed at myself as well.
yeah, no, me too. But I think part of this as well is because work has been sort of our, especially in the past year, I think it's been something that we've been trying to, we're trying to be busy, and sort of work takes off that anxiety and tension that we're all feeling because of the sort of the lockdown situation. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we're all trying to distract ourselves from the news, from,
Yeah,
all of these sort of COVID vaccines and so on. It's like just very everything the same every day, so you're trying to
yeah,
sort of yeah, get into work as much as possible so you don't think about these things. But just
yeah,
because we have another 25 or 30 minutes left, I think we just still need to get through a few questions, because obviously I want you
yeah.
to be able to save this IG stream. So it has to be just around an hour. So
Okay.
when it comes to my questions, I'll go with my 2 questions. So, what advice would you give to those who don't know their passion?
I like this question a lot, actually. I had a good think about this one, and I think the first bit of advice I would give is, don't be afraid to try anything, even if it's something really extreme, really wild, really out there. Just go for it. Life is too short to be afraid to do things. And I know when I started doing the interior design course, at first I was really sort of I don't know why, I was really conscious of what people would think, and if they'd sort of judge me and think, why is
Yeah.
she doing that? What does she know about interior design? You know, she doesn't own her own
Uh,
house. She doesn't know
awful
anything.
thoughts.
And
All these thoughts, we should just like shoot them straight out.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, I thought, oh God, I'm really embarrassed to do this. And I thought, hang on a second, am I going to let my thoughts on what other people think stop me from doing something which could potentially be a career change for me? Then I thought, no, I'm just going to do it. So I was really glad that I sort of pushed myself to do that. And I think if anyone's
Mm,
out there and they're thinking of taking up any sort of hobby, whether it's, I don't know, netball or kayaking or whatever, don't listen to anyone around you. If you want to do it and you feel passionate about it, just go for it. And even if in a
mm,
month's time you hate it, you never want to do it again, at least you can say to people, do you know what, I tried that once, I hated it, but I tried it. And another part of the question as well, I know a lot of people out there, they don't actually have any hobbies like me before the interior
mm,
design, and they don't
mm,
really know what to get started with. And I think something that I found a few years ago, I didn't really have any hobbies, but I always, since a child, I've always watched the news. Like my dad has the news on in like every room in the house. It does my head in sometimes, but it's always on. I sort of I naturally take an interest in like world affairs, what's going on out there, and
mm,
sport as well. So
mm,
when you'd watch the news, after a while they'll show like all the sports results, and all of a sudden I start taking an interest in different sports. And
mm.
um, something else as well. My dad, he's a big Leeds United football fan, and he took me
Mine
to a
as well.
match about yeah, he took me to a match about, I think it'll be about 3 years ago. And before I went, I wasn't that bothered. I didn't really have much of an interest, but because I went, I thought, oh, I really enjoyed this. And before I knew it, I was going on online to check all the football scores. I was listening to podcasts about Leeds United. I was buy myself a scarf, a Leeds United top. And before I knew it, I thought, hang on, I've got this massive interest in this football team all of a sudden just because I went to one match. And that once again is just trying
Exactly.
something. I didn't
Just
I didn't
trying.
have to go to this match with my dad, but his friend couldn't go. He had a spare ticket. I thought, why not? I've got nothing else to do
Yeah.
on a Saturday afternoon. So I went, and now, like, as soon as there's a Leeds United match on TV, that's it. I'm sat in front of the TV, phone's down. I don't go on Instagram for 90
Ah,
minutes,
that's
and I
great.
just love it. But
Yeah.
it's just trying stuff like that. If you've got any friends, or you know your partner says, do you want to go watch a cricket match? Do you want to go watch a rugby match? Just go. And even if you hate it, at least you can say you've been, and it might actually lead to something else. It might lead to a new hobby or a new interest. So my advice is just go for it. Just give everything a
Yeah.
chance.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's what we sort of been talking about with Davina before as well, and with Marina with my first IG
Yeah,
stream. Yeah, just actioning things, even if you might not enjoy it. It's just the same with Behind Canvas. I mean, neither of my friends or my parents thought it's going to be a profitable business. I mean, it's obviously on the track towards getting there, but it's of course still not mature enough to be able to sort
yeah,
of, sustain me in 100%, without worrying
yeah,
about anything. But again, even though it has taken me 2 years, well, it's just over 2 years now, it's only recently, only since, well, maybe a few, yeah, maybe 3 4 months now, that I like seriously started working on it, like seriously, like very serious, like opening a platform, hiring a marketing specialist, because on your own it's very, very difficult to sort of keep pushing, when you don't see maybe of results that you're imagining. And actually what you were saying about immersing yourself, it comes up to my next question, about when was the last time you immersed yourself into something incredibly exciting. Maybe that sort of answers, but maybe you have another thing that you maybe want to mention about, yeah.
yeah. So something exciting that I've immersed myself into. Um, I would say for me, it's something actually quite recent. So since I've started doing this interior design course, I knew that I need to pick up work experience somewhere. And my boyfriend Adam, he has a connection with someone who's in the interior design industry, someone who he works for. She's an interior designer, so he got her details, and I sent her an email, and I managed to pick up a bit of work experience with her. She's doing an apartment renovation in Harrogate in North Yorkshire,
Oh
so she's
yeah.
going to let me get involved in that, which it's so exciting because this is the first bit of work experience I've ever had doing interior design. It's incredibly nerve-wracking because this is going to be the first real test to see how good I actually am at interior design. But that's
Yeah.
definitely probably the most recent and the most interior design related exciting thing I've sort of got myself involved with. So that's,
Wow.
I'm trying to think what else there is. I think in the past 12 months there's not been very much that's been exciting that's gone on in my life. So that's definitely
Well,
been,
I think, yeah, all of us. I mean, for me, it's mostly related to work. Definitely. I
yeah,
mean, obviously, it's been a very, I'm really grateful for obviously that year because, as I said, I met you, met other girls at Bait as well. And just in general, it's been sort of a rewarding year for me because obviously, yeah, I sort of changed my route a bit, and now I sort of see what I want to achieve, and it's just sort of made it a bit more clearer for me in that sense. But of course, yeah, we all want to be able to enjoy a meal in a restaurant and go out on a concert.
can't wait.
Yeah, it would be great, but obviously we don't want to focus on these things. But yeah, it's something that we've all been missing. And again, releasing your energy somewhere else outside of work. Yeah, so it would be great to be
Yes.
able to do that. I think everyone can relate. I have one last questions left, and maybe then we can move on to yours. I think,
Yeah.
if you didn't have to worry about money, what do you think you would be doing?
Right, now this question, I thought about this a lot. And I realized this question kind of relates to confidence as well, because I thought if I didn't have to worry about money and I could do anything, I thought, well, I know what I'd do. I'd start my own interior design YouTube channel. I'd create my own website. I'd go and approach people, see if they want the houses decorating, all this stuff. And I thought, actually, none of that really has anything to do with money. It actually has more to do with confidence. I thought,
Mm,
there's nothing stopping me from doing any of those things. It's just I'm not
yeah,
confident enough to do it. Whereas I think if I had like unlimited funds, I think, oh, I can hide behind my money. It's fine. If it all fails, I can get on my private jet and fly somewhere else and no one will know me there. So I think, yeah, I think if I did have unlimited funds and I could sort of do anything, I think it would give me more confidence to spend more time doing my course because I wouldn't have to worry about going to work 9 to 5
yeah,
every day.
yeah,
So I could spend more time trying to complete my qualification with Bade, set up a business, set up a website, set up perhaps a YouTube channel, all of these different things. I think I'd definitely do that, and I think I'd also definitely make the most of being able to travel abroad. So I think a
mm,
lot of people take so much inspiration from different places that they
oh yeah,
visit. And as much as I love going on holiday and sitting on a beach, I love exploring new cities. I love walking
yes,
around. Just look at the architecture and different buildings you find in different cities. You can take so much inspiration from stuff like that.
yes,
So I think
absolutely.
yes, I think right now I'd be probably exploring different cities in Europe and just taking photographs and looking around different buildings and just taking so much inspiration so I can hopefully put it towards building up my own portfolio. I've been to Madrid twice, well, last year and the year before, and just walking around streets in Madrid and you look at the buildings and you just get so much inspiration from being in different places. Whereas for the last year, obviously, once again, this isn't really to do with money, it's to do with obviously lockdown. I haven't
Yeah,
really left the confines of West Yorkshire in the past 12 months, so I've not been able to get any new inspiration from different places.
yeah.
So, yeah, if I had loads of money, I'd get on a private jet and fly to somewhere like Rome or Milan or somewhere really nice like that. I'd love to do that right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's of course also the reason why I left London 2 months ago, sort of
Yeah,
yeah, in Greece, as you know, and yeah, it's been really nice in that sense because the views, the scenery, the architecture. Of course, most of the places are
amazing.
shut, but you still get sort of the facades of the buildings, and you get sort of the beaches and the weather and stuff like that. So it definitely makes me feel more better. And also about the spaces, like again coming to interiors. I used to live in a studio flat in London, and it was
Yeah,
a really shabby kind of not really nice kind of apartment. It was just like a normal studio flat.
yeah.
Yeah, as long as the water and lights are working, I was kind of, it was fine.
All that
But
matters.
I'm a very aesthetic sort of orientated person, so obviously that's what I could afford at the time, and I lived in a very nice
Yeah.
area. So when I came out, I felt really good because I was surrounded by, again, really beautiful architecture in London. But
Which
yeah,
part of London did you live in, Steph?
I
Whereabouts in London were you?
in Kensington, so it's West London.
Oh,
It's yeah,
yeah,
it's a very nice area, but
yeah,
and we were very lucky to be able to move there because we thought we could never afford it when we moved there,
yeah. I was gonna
but
say
we
it'd be
got a really
expensive.
good deal. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. But for me, that's what sort of kept me inspired, because sometimes I think, oh my goodness, how did I manage to, do so many workshops in sitting in this one studio flat, like one room,
yeah.
there's nowhere to go out, like it's just bathroom and that's it. Like literally, there was absolutely no door to close the living room, I couldn't even go into another. So I mean, it sounds weird. Now I'm looking back at it and I think, oh my goodness, this was 2 months ago, and now I'm living in a
Yeah.
much nicer place. Obviously, it's Airbnb, but
Mm,
we've got 3 rooms here, 2 bedrooms, one living room, and I feel much, much more inspired to film.
yeah,
I think all these things like interior spaces, they just have such a huge impact on you
yeah.
personally, and just yeah, so I just realized it even more. I always knew about it, but now I can feel
Mm.
it. I can really
I
feel it
bet.
inside.
Yeah, I bet the weather as well. I don't know about you, but with me, if I wake up and the sun's shining, I automatically feel more positive and more motivated for the day. And I
Of
imagine
course.
with you living in Greece now and you wake up and you see the sunshine every day and you see the sea and the beautiful views, I bet that gives you a lot more like motivation for life, really, won't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and like today I saw, I think it's called like windsurfing or something, and I thought that would be a
I
cool thing
saw
to
on
try.
your Insta, yeah,
Yeah, and I never actually thought about it before, because you don't
yeah.
get windsurfing in London. You get winds, but you don't get
Down the
windsurfing.
Thames.
Yeah, exactly. So there's different things, I mean, obviously in London I used to go to dance classes, and I really like them. I really like hip hop, even though I'm really bad at it, but I really like it. I really like street dancing, and it's something that
Yeah,
I really doing. So I think I'm quite adaptable, from places to places. I see things that, oh, actually this sounds interesting. And again,
yeah,
it's something that I need to get into, because as I was saying, I've been working too much recently, and I really need to kind of like enjoy some other passions, that
yeah.
that
I
I
hope
might
you're going to
have.
start windsurfing.
Yeah, so I really
Yeah.
like surfing. I tried it before, but I never tried windsurfing. So
No,
it's
I
something
haven't
that
tried.
looks quite cool. I don't know. I like any water sports, but not sort of like diving and stuff. No, on top of water, but not
Yeah.
inside.
I
Like,
like to be able to see the ground. Like when I'm in the sea, I like to be able to see the sand at the bottom. If I can't see it, I'm like, oh no, I've come too far out. Get me back to
yeah,
shore.
yeah, no, no, no. Diving and like snorkeling is okay, but diving, no, it's not happening. I can't do it.
I still
So
can't dive. It's more of a belly flop that goes into the pool.
no, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Um, so is it my questions for you now, Seth?
Yes, I'm done with mine now. So
Fab. So I have two
we've
more
got
for
just,
you. What was that? Sorry, it cut off
no,
then.
I was saying we've got around 15 minutes, so is exactly to make it like an hour. So,
Oh,
but
fab. Right. So, so question number 4 for me is, do you think it is easier or harder these days for women to discover their passions?
again, another brilliant question from you. Um, I think it's easier in a sense of opportunities, because there are a lot of opportunities out there, and of course, it's up to you if you're gonna go and get them. They're not gonna come. No one's going to serve
To you?
opportunities on a plate.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. So you have to go out there and get them. But it's also difficult as well in other ways, because obviously when, for instance, when you have children, when you decide to become a mother and you have to juggle things, it becomes quite difficult. So you do need help from, I don't know, your husband, boyfriend, partner, whatever, to help you
Yeah.
out, because it's hard to do everything by yourself. So
Mm.
I think, yeah, it's a very interesting question, because I thought about it for quite a long time, if it's easier or harder. I definitely think, yes, it's easier in a way that, yeah, opportunities are out there, but it's
I think
just,
there's more. I think there's more things now that are more sort of seen as acceptable for women to do, because I
yeah,
know say even 50 years ago, how many women would you have that would go and play football? Whereas now, you know, England have a football team, and I
Yeah,
think now
ab-
there's a lot more. What's the word? I think it's more. It should have always been the case, but I think now women are allowed to do things that not allowed, but they have more opportunity to do things that years ago
yeah,
it would have almost been frowned upon for a woman to do, like a woman playing rugby, a woman playing cricket, anything like that.
yeah.
Even in a way, I suppose the same for men. Like you see so many male makeup artists these days, which I think is
Oh,
brilliant because it shouldn't just be women who are makeup artists and men who are footballers. I think it's so good nowadays that men and women can do whatever they want to do, whether it's seen as a girly thing or a boyish thing. I think it's great now. But I
yeah.
think I think one of the hard things about women getting involved with different things these days and finding their passions, I think because of social media, there can be a lot of judging and a lot of sort
Mm,
of trolling online. I think that's the one sort of
yeah.
downside to it because there is still a lot of bullying out there and a lot of
Oh, yeah, especially in the
nastiness.
digital world. Yeah, absolutely. Because it's not like you're
Yeah,
facing the person telling them something. It's like you just typing, texting, whatever,
yeah,
leaving a
keyboard
comment.
warriors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Taylor Swift wrote a song about that, right? She has, oh my goodness, what's it called? I think it was to, what was it called? Anyway, I forgot what it's called, but she's basically, yeah, sort of singing about like, what the hell are you doing? Sort of like these people who are
yeah.
just at 4 a.m. and putting all that hate on social media. So
Oh, I think I know. Yeah,
I think it's
I know the
called,
song you're talking about. Which one
yeah,
is
I
it?
can't remember.
I do know.
I can't remember
It'll
what it's
come to
called.
me at like midnight tonight. I'll message you. That's the song.
Exactly, and you're not gonna fall and sleep until you remember the
I
title.
know, it's going to
Yeah,
annoy
yeah,
me.
yeah. I can't remember.
So, my
Yeah.
final question for you is why do you think it is important to have a passion?
Um, I think first of all, it's important for your personal growth. I think we all want to be, I don't know, when we're like 60, 70, we don't want to sit there realizing, oh my goodness, my life was shit. We don't want to say this, right? We want to look back and be like, wow, I had a really, really amazing life because,
Yeah,
I've done so many different things. So I think it's very important to yeah, definitely like do things outside of your family life, and vice versa. You have to sort of do different things because if you just focus on one thing all the time, it's just not going to be great, right? You're just going to be immersed in
yeah,
it too much, to lose your uh let's say creative side, or
yeah,
whatever, because we have different sort of sides, and we have to sort of keep like watering our different sides and develop them,
yes,
right, in order to feel fulfilled, and yeah, that we're growing inside, personally. So I
yeah,
think personal growth is a very, I think, important subject that, I mean, I think some people sort of try to avoid in a way, because I think it's quite deep subject, right, like personal
yeah,
growth.
mm,
So I think for that it's definitely very important to have passion, because yeah, otherwise you're just living like this automatic life which
yeah,
has sort of been prescribed for you, like you're saying, for instance, now men and women can do whatever, whatever they want. Of course there's still
yeah,
stereotypes, and
mm,
there's still stereotypes around art, there's stereotypes around interior design, there's stereotypes around every, especially creative industries,
yeah,
unfortunately. And this is what I'm trying to change, to show people that I'm not just a person who's sitting there and painting on canvas and waiting, I don't know, to become a millionaire. Obviously it's not going to happen. So it's I think, yeah, I think in terms of importance, personal growth is very, very important in
yeah.
that sense. Well, I don't know what you think. Maybe why do you think it's important to have passion?
I think as well, like you said, you don't want to get to the end of your life and think, what have I achieved apart from going to work every day for 50, 60 years? You want to look back at your life and think, wow, I remember when I was 28 years old and I did this. Oh, wow, when I was 18, I did that. You want to look back on your life at all the memories. And I'm one of those people, I don't ever want to get to a point in my life and regret not having done something. So that's why
Yeah,
every time an opportunity comes around now, I grab it with both hands. And once again, going back to lockdown, I think going through this lockdown has made me realize that you know, it's so easy for stuff in life to be taken away from you. You know, we've had our freedom taken away from us now for 12 months.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, the next time one of my friends says, hey, do you want to go out for lunch today? Yes, I will be there.
Yeah.
No excuses. Because I know what it's
You'll
like to not be
stay at
able to
this
do that.
restaurant until midnight, until it's closed. You're just going
Oh,
to be there
yeah.
checking everything. Yeah, yeah, no,
I'll
absolutely.
be the oldest
Uh,
person in the nightclub, but I will be there dancing until 2 in the morning.
oh
I don't
yes.
care.
Yeah.
Probably
No,
asleep by 10,
absolutely.
most likely.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what's gonna happen when everything opens. People are just going to be like, seriously,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's going to be crazy. And I think
Yeah. I'm almost a
that's
bit
another.
scared.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's quite scary in that sense, but that also comes to the question that you asked about importance of passion. Imagine if you're just been working for the whole year and you don't have any hobbies, you don't have any
Yeah.
passions, you're not realizing them. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's a very miserable,
It's a
miserable.
miserable life.
It's a miserable year, you know. So
Yeah.
again, it comes to the importance of self personal growth, that
Yeah.
you're not just sitting there waiting for, of course we're all waiting to go to a concert and to a club. I completely agree with you, but it's like we've
Mm,
got things to do, right, whilst we're waiting for
yeah.
it to happen. So I think it's very important for sure. So we have
Yeah.
just maybe less than 10 minutes I think left. I
Okay.
don't know if there's anything else maybe we can cover. Maybe we can ask our watchers if they've got any
Yeah.
questions for us, perhaps. Let's have a look if there was any questions. I saw a few comments, but I'm not sure if I saw any questions. uh, yeah, let's scroll up. Right. uh, someone saying, "Hey,
I
Georgie."
don't think any of my followers will be watching this because I'm on my sister's account because mine wasn't working,
Oh yeah,
which is so
oh yeah.
annoying. But I
Uh,
think I can still
but
post it
you
on
will.
my page though, can't I? And then
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
could ask
Absolutely,
questions in the
yes,
comment.
yes, absolutely. You will be able to do that. I will show you how
Yeah.
to do all. I'll send you the instructions.
Oh, fab.
But I think Yolanda is saying totally agree with you girls. Yes. So I think if there isn't any questions, maybe we can sort of end it here. But just before we do it, oh, Medina is saying we're watching Georgie.
Oh, thanks, Gina.
Yeah. So let's see if anyone maybe has anything to point out or make a note of or ask any questions. I mean, it's always happy to hear everyone's thoughts. But yeah, I think the subject, I think we covered quite a lot today actually on
I
this
hope it's helped
subject.
people as well. I hope people have I don't know. I
Yeah.
know when I watched the video last week with you and Davina, I sat there, I thought I agree with everything they're both saying, and it's quite reassuring sometimes to hear other people's thoughts on the
Oh yeah.
subject. Really nice.
Yeah. Absolutely. And as I was saying, for me, for instance, like why the reason why I'm doing IG talks is to keep me motivated. I mean, I'll be
Yeah,
transparent here and very honest.
it's such a good
Because
idea.
yeah, as I said, there are days, and there are many of these days when I wake up and I don't feel like doing anything.
Yeah,
And obviously, I still do things, and I still want to promote it, but it's difficult, it's challenging, it's hard, especially trying to build a business in the middle of pandemic is not the
yeah.
best of sort of
No.
environments to do that as well.
Yeah,
But there are of course things that I'm very grateful for, like obviously I still have a job which allows me to invest into BehindCanvas more and be able to build a proper platform, proper business out of it, because this is what I want to do. So
yeah,
I think, yeah, I think for me, definitely doing these IG talks has been very helpful in that sense.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just not been my best in the past year. So I'm sure that people who are interested in sort of this topic or sort of need a bit of motivation, and I think a lot of people need motivation at the
Yeah,
moment. It is difficult.
definitely.
So
Yeah, and we're so close to the end, and hopefully stuff is going to improve soon. But you know, it's just so important to stay sort of passionate and motivated. I think as much as you possibly can throughout life, really, not just lockdown. I think just throughout life in general, just try and focus on your passions and try and your best to stay motivated and find stuff that does motivate you. And I think, you know, it should hopefully lead to a happy life.
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. So
Yeah.
it's been great. I loved seeing you. You have made my
Yeah,
day.
it's lovely to have a catch up.
Yeah, no,
I'll be doing
absolutely.
I'll be doing your next course soon as well, the Sex and the City apartment. I'm
Oh yes.
100% doing that.
Do you
I
like
can't wait to do that one.
Oh goodness, yeah, it's taken me such a long time to prepare it as well, and I hope it will be a useful one. I mean, it's packed with a lot of different kind of things like scale and drawing sort of on A3 and doing it from zero,
Yeah,
and you know, doing floor plans by hand and stuff. But I really hope that it's an enjoyable session. So I really wanted
yeah,
to build a theme around it as well, to base it on Sex and the City. So
yeah,
I'll see what something creative I can do next time. I really want to do a course on shadows as well, to show you how to sort of apply
yeah.
shadows. So I'll see
That'd be
how
really
to
handy.
yeah,
That'd be great.
maybe I'll do
Mm.
apartment of Carrie again, or maybe I'll use
Yeah.
friends and do their apartment. We'll see. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
So
that would be brilliant. I'd love to do that
yeah,
one.
yeah, because I had actually a suggestion to do an apartment of Friends series. So we'll see. I'll do my
I'll be
best to
doing
come
that one as well.
inspiring. Yes, just to read a few comments. Martina is saying you are both really inspiring, ladies. Thank you so much, Dina.
Oh, thanks,
Um,
Dina.
yeah, this has been lovely comment. Loving this. Well done, ladies. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been a pleasure.
Oh,
We
thank
really
you,
hope that
everyone.
yeah, you will watch it if you haven't watched it. Watch the whole hour. We actually have 10 people watching us now. But yeah, so I really hope to be able to do another of the streams with you again, Georgie. It's been really great, and I
Definitely.
think we should repeat it. I think next week we are doing one with Tameha, so the topic
Oh,
will be
yay.
soon. Yeah. So we'll see everyone next week, and thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thanks, Steph, and thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you. Take care. Bye, Georgie.
Bye.